Breaking news. I have forgiven my adopters. Uche Wonsu. Hello, my wonderful people. You may be wondering, who is he? Who is this young man? Well, he's the son-in-law to Roger Okorocha. This young man was adopted a few days ago. And Nigeria, the case of insecurity. And this is why we all must keep speaking out against this government, inability to work to protect citizens. The fundamental number one core duty of every government is protection of lives and property. Take, for instance, what is going on in Ukraine. The Ukraine president, he's doing all he can to protect his city. He's doing all he possibly can. Of course, he cannot go and stand in front of a bullet or something, but he's doing all he possibly can. You see him giving updates. You see him with the soldiers in the trenches. You see him wearing the same army uniform. He's not in one place hiding, then asking situation reports. That is being part of the people, understanding what they are going through. Now, Uche once governorship candidate in Imo State, has also been adopted. But this is what he said, about the people who adopted him and how life has been, since what happened to him. Let's get all the details. I have forgiven my adopters, Uche Wonsu. A former Imo State governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress in 2019 election, Uche Nwosu, the son-in-law to Roger Okorocha, said he has forgiven those who adopted him during the outing service in honor of his late mother at the St. Peter's Anglican Church in Imo State last year. He, however, told them to repent and pray to God for forgiveness. Nwosu, in an interview with journalists in Abuja, also warned the leaders and stakeholders of APC to tread cautiously and desist from actions and utterances that may further influence the crisis in the party. He said, I have forgiven those that adopted me and dishumanized me during the funeral service of my mother. The Bible teaches us to forgive, just like Jesus Christ has forgiven those that crucified him. Can you imagine, in my mother's burial, I was adopted? This is unheard of. I have also forgiven them. Yes, I have. Like Jesus taught me, I have forgiven them. But they should pray and ask God for their forgiveness. According to him, the founding fathers who were neglected and abandoned in the courage and the course of events should be brought back to the round table to discuss the issue in APC. Why blaming the internal crisis rocking the APC on the derailment of the Malami Boni Critical Extraordinary Planning Committee? He solidarized the direct intervention of President Muhammadu Buhari in the peace efforts he has made to ensure that APC did not destroy. Once he told journalists in Abuja that the previous delegations of governors and ministers did not yield results and that more needs to be looked in this regard. So that's Roger Shokorocha's son-in-law, like I earlier reiterated, and you can tell for yourself that he's a man who has gone through a lot. Last year we brought you up to speed that he was adopted right from the church, and it sparked up a whole lot of conversation all over the country, wondering what was really going on. Yes, everybody was very shocked and worried and said, what exactly is happening in this country? Anyway, they said, it was accused here and there. A lot of matter went under the bridge. But at the long and short of it, and they said the police had to come out when, the news broke out that he was adopted. They had to come out to say, no, it was them. But the whole process, the way they came into a church, sporadically shooting as though a criminal was about to be apprehended, was scary to mention, but at least it was really scary. You see, so a lot of things have happened in this country, and one is wondering, do we really have decorum? Do we have law and order? Are there sincerity in this nation? Or do we just have people and persons who do not care about what happens to the other person and just do things haphazardly? The truth of the matter is that in Nigeria, politics is seen, I mean, more like a rival thing. So everybody, is on his neck of his of the other person, wanting to outdo the other person. And really and sincerely speaking, if you are coming from a place of service, okay, if you are coming from with a heart of service to serve, and you really want something done, I don't think you should be that desperate. Uche wants to join the Black Book of Hope because he's a son-in-law and a former presidential candidate the same time with Hope. But Hope was favored above him. And so, being that he's a former governor's in-law, the threats continue. And everybody's suspecting the other person, and I mean, it resulted to a lot of unwarranted things. At the end of the day, he was released and he said he was stockpiling weapons, blah, blah, blah. It was against the Imo state. I mean, all forms of, you can just tell this all political jamboree, all political jamboree. And the truth of the matter is, it was very annoying and very irritating because it was his mother's burial. If for nothing, just give him just honor him, humor him to just bury his mother. Okay, then even if he was, for instance, he was a criminal, then apprehend him. Not why his mother's burial was going on. That was very, very uncalled for. But he said something. He said he's grown past what happened that period and he's forgiven all those who did whatever they did to him. Said he's forgiven them. Yeah, that's what he says. He has forgiven them. And he learnt it from Jesus Christ. That Jesus Christ forgave those who crucified him. So who is he to hold anybody hostage and to say he will not forgive anybody? It says, so for him, forgiveness is the watchword. And he has adopted that very principle to forgive those who have offended you and hurt you in such a manner that, you feel snared. He said, but I mean, it is what it is. He has to forgive. So that's Roger Okorocha's son-in-law who has forgiven those who have offended him and has said, well, he's moving forward and it is what it is. The governor of Imo State, Hope, who is supposed to be Hope, but really not no hope at all, was part of the whole scheme and the Nigerian police. At the end of the day, here we are. At the end of the day, here we are. Everybody's just watching and saying what's going to be happening. You see, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. God bless you. Do have a lovely and a fantastic day. Bye for now.